The first impression I had when I arrived and I met this woman that I had been writing for a couple of years was that the women were already ready to just work themselves, to do something. They were asking for collaboration, they were eager to learn, and I thought I would never go back. That's the reason I wanted to meet this woman, because I was in the area. I was in Eastern Africa and I wanted to find her. She lives in a very remote area, so that was a very good chance for me to meet with her. Then I met with many other women, and talking to them and living with them and staying with them and listening to what they have to say. It was a very beautiful moment of discovering. They have similar needs, we want the same for our families, we want a good life for our children. We want to send our children to school, we want to be healthy, we want to empower others. We can collaborate. It was not us doing anything for them or them for us. It was, let's create something together. Started with 3 villages, 100 women in one village, 100 women in another village, and 100 women in another village. But it was wonderful because that was the first formal knowledge that the women in the villages had. And for them, it was the first time that they acquired the knowledge that they were so eager for. The big impact will have to come from the women themselves. So it was then the idea came of train the trainers. So by training a few number of women, like 12 women, 13 women, no more than that. And the training is very intense, but the infrastructure became easier. And the women themselves were the ones who started owning the knowledge and spreading the word. And that's the reason it was very, very successful, because it was the women themselves.
Women in our community, that is Lunga, they want to be health promoters in different things, all difficulties they have seen with most of our women.
Pregnancy, for instance, you just find there are mothers who are ignorant of going to the antenatal clinics or taking their babies for vaccines, which is their right. And you can find women who are infertile because of untreated STIs. And should one suffer when there are services which can be provided. So I'd like to go and meet them there at my community. I can talk to them and I know I can make a positive change.
Most of the diseases that we were seeing have nothing to do with the lack of knowledge. They had something to do with water. So it was very difficult to deal with the lack of water or with dirty water, contaminated water. Several of them just mentioned that in other villages, that in the city, they have seen water tanks that work really, really well.
Hayo maji ya tangi, tashukuru, haya maji ya tangi yametusaidia sana. Kwa maana hapo nyuma tulikuwa tunakunywa maji ambayo si masafi, lakini kwa wakati huu tunakunywa maji masafi na tunayatumia kwa njia inayostahili. Lakini ijapokuwa maji yale tumepata, tunatumia maji, lakini hayo maji ni machache, kwa maana tunatumia kwa watu 25 kwenye kikundi chetu. Kwa upande huu tunatumia watu 25, na hayo maji yanastahili. Kama tungepata maji mengine, tungeshukuru Mungu kwa ajili ya hayo maji.
It has created a ripple effect that we couldn't anticipate. And I only thought that it will improve the health of families if they could drink healthy or clean water, treated water. But the implication was that families were sending their daughters to school. So they drink the clean water, but they still fetch water to water the crops. If they water the crops, they have crops to feed the goats. So they don't have to sell the goats. And then they have goats and crops. So they save money. With this money they save, before only the boys were sent to school. Now with this little money, they are also sending their daughters to school. So the idea of the tailoring group, it came from the women themselves. They were thinking that by having a little profession, a business, that they will improve their lives. So the first thing that they asked is just they requested one sewing machine. So that's what we did, one sewing machine in the village, and it became like 5 sewing machines 2 years afterwards. One of the reasons we encouraged the girls to do the tailoring, go to the tailoring school, was because the villages are built, the villages are just at the border of Kenya and Tanzania. There are many truck drivers, and trafficking of girls is a big issue.
Damaris Munini, she was operating a small kiosk in the market. The time we started vocational tailoring, she was among the first group, said, yes, I want to up the skill. So I told her, welcome, you are most welcome. The woman now is catering for the food, clothing, and also school fee for her 2 daughters who are in school. And the woman, as you can see her now, she is very different from the year we started with her. Now she looks like a working class.
After the first training, the mass health camps that we did the first year, the following year I take new students, and I'm in shock seeing that the women are performing for us just to entertain us. And they took every little knowledge that was given to them the former year. They just comprehended everything and just did a drama, as they call it, and performed it for us. It was an anti-malaria play that they did, just taking all the information from the previous year. So it was mind-blowing. So just by talking to them and again listening what they wanted to do, and this is what they say, we just want to keep performing. So we thought, okay, instead of only malaria, what about if you do everything that you learn in the workshops, in the training for the health promotion, everything else? It could be maternal health, it could be HIV, it could be everything. So every little knowledge they converted, they transformed it, they translated into a drama. When we started working with the Maasai, again, we didn't really know what was going to happen, but they wanted, and that was something we couldn't reject. And they thought that they needed the training, but something that was very shocking to us is that they wanted to be health promoters. And for the first time, there were 3 Maasai people, 2 from one village and another from another village within the same program for the health promotion, the community health workers, but one of them was a man. We have never had a man before, and having a Maasai man, that this is a very, very patriarchal society, very patriarchal culture, men and women are separated, and it was also mind-blowing for all of us.
I ate Isaac Nguzo from Maasailand, which is 35 kilometers from Nikumbuke office. I'm working with that group. I have seen that those women, they needed somebody to open their eyes, to be like the other women. And since they came to my office, cried for us to have a program with them, I visited their place and I found all the women, they were illiterate. No one knew how to read and write. But among the women, one woman ate a boy, that is Isaac, who was gone up to 2nd grade in high school. And they said, yes, I have my son. I want him to be empowered. Why not he come and be our teacher? So that is why I selected Isaac Nguzo to be the teacher of that group, Maasailand. And he's doing well. On top of that, I told him, this year we're having youth camp, and you are among the women. He said, yes, I want to make a difference. I want also to men to be known in Nikumbuke. And he was among the women. That is how I came to know Isaac and to work with him.
The Maasai man was absolutely open to learn from everybody and just listen, which we really appreciated, and learning everything. And when we finished the health training, this Maasai man stood up, and he was the only one who did that among all of them. And he just said, thank you, I'm very committed to work against violence against women and very devoted to women's health.
as a health promoter, you can't do it alone. You need someone from an ethnic tribe who speaks a different language so that we can meet our goal. So by bringing all the different people there, it was wonderful. We were discussing together and we were exchanging from our ethnic tribes what we do or we don't do, the taboos, and which barriers we can break to reach the people.
It was just a beautiful moment to see that all ethnic groups around the villages are working together to improve the health of everybody. That's the part that is mind-blowing. It's not just one ethnic group, it's not just women, it's all of them coming together and say, okay, let's work together for something. Plus the students that we can consider it's a different ethnic group coming together. It's a very beautiful product what comes out from collaboration.
The men, after they share with the women, they see the importance. That is why they are sending many women to come to our centers. That is the work of Nikumbuke, changing the whole community and also bringing people to be one group.
When they have unity and love, we find that when they do things, they do together and assisting many of the villagers, and we find that we have a great change.
The cohort of health promoters are conformed by women and men now from all the different communities. So there are normally one or two from one community. So they have to work together. And this is the cohort that has to work together for the whole year. And so they just mingle, they know each other, they have to go to the different ethnic groups and talk about all these things. And it's just what is emerging is really this notion of community, a strong community between the students, between us, between the women, the Maasai now, and it's just unity. It's what it is. It's collaboration, it's unity, it's friendship. We are unleashing the power of unity. This is what all of us are doing.